Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. It's the 28th of March 2022 and a Monday. Today, as usual, we are going to have three parts. The first part is going to be me talking about the general macroeconomic situation and news, if any. Second part is going to be the technical analysis for Nasdaq and VIX, and we'll try to see where the market is going to go today. And finally, we're going to look at all our genomic shares and see if we can predict any price trends in any direction for them. So let's get started. During the weekend, I had spoken extensively about what I think of the various information we have in the market, how the overall economic trends look, and what it means. But today, this morning, I have been watching a lot of media reports, and people are now, commentators are now starting to change their tune. Despite interest rates going up, despite the yield curve going negative, we still have a rising stock market. And so the latest explanation seems to be that the market believes the economy is much stronger than what most people think, and that the interest rate hikes by the Fed is not sufficient to cool down the market. So I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the heck is happening right now. But I have a gut feel that things are not going the way they should, given that there's going to be so much of interest rate hike. Instead of 25, it's going to be 50 basis points, and instead of a 2% at the end of the year, it's going to be more than 2.75% potentially at the end of the year in terms of the interest rate. Markets should be going down. They are not going down. If you just look at the interest rate scenario itself, it's daunting. Now, on top of that, if you put the 7.5% inflation, if you put the Ukraine-Russia crisis, if you put the oil crisis also on top of it, then all of that seems to be really, really daunting. So I don't know who are the people that are feeling very bullish about the market at this point of time. Personally, if there's going to be profit to be taken, I'm sticking with my approach of taking profits closer to the third week of April or as soon as possible, in case I think that there are some signals that are coming in that are going to be negative. The only reason I'm holding on right now is that we have got news of stock split from Amazon. So that's giving a bit of hope in the market. There is also talk of Tesla coming up with a stock split. They are going to have a meeting of shareholders to increase the number of shares. So the speculation is that Tesla might come up with a share split. And if that happens, that's going to be positive. Usually share splits do not mean much in terms of the fundamentals of the company. But what happens is that the face value of the share goes down. And as a result of that, more people are able to afford it. And people who do options and calls and all can start using those instruments on these shares, because Tesla share, for example, is very expensive. To have 100 shares to do a call, a covered call, you're going to need a lot of money. Or for that matter, Amazon at around $3,000. If you need to have 100 shares of Amazon to do a covered call, that's a lot of money to put in place. So when the company does a stock split, the immediate result of that is more retail investors are able to participate. So that's the second aspect that's keeping me in. The third aspect that I think most of the people in the market probably don't talk about, and this is my personal opinion, I would like your feedback on what you think about this. I think that over the last decade, what has happened is there are more retail investors in the market than there are institutional investors. And as a result of which, a good portion of the stock is in the hand of retail investors, and retail investors do not follow the same playbook like hedge funds or institutional investors. And therefore, whatever reaction that we are seeing in the market, it could also be that there's a different approach, and also many of our resistance and support levels may not be the same as they were historically when we go down in price, because there are new participants in the market and there's a new memory of pain and happiness. That's how I would look at it. And I would like your feedback. What do you guys think? Do you think that retail investors are more in the market as compared to in the past, and therefore the rules of engagement are changing? And that's why we are seeing the market go against conventional wisdom that an inverting yield curve is going to signal recession, increasing interest rate is going to make money flee towards bonds, because only institutional investors have got the capability to move money into bonds. Retail investors are generally only on shares. And the other thing in the mix now is that a sizable amount of money has gone into cryptocurrency. So maybe the institutional investors have also put a good amount of money into cryptocurrency, and therefore they have divested from the share market, and there are more retail investors in the share market. So I don't know. These are all just speculation, but I'll honestly tell you, I don't know what's happening in the market. What is happening is not in line with what I think should happen. So let's enjoy the ride while it goes up, and make sure that we take our profits before it goes down. So as I said before, my target is April. There are no new CRISPR news in the market at this point of time. So this was my prologue. Now let's go and look at the Nasdaq and the VIX. Okay, so things are looking good right now. Our US oil has fallen down 6.28%. That's around a $7 fall. As you can see, this is the candle for today. This is a red candle, and it has fallen steeply, and it's fallen below the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. This is a very good sign, and this in turn is going to help the VIX. However, the VIX is still volatile because apart from oil, we have other issues also which we are going to deal with, and we have a support for the VIX at 19.93. So hopefully, because of the oil falling, we should see a little bit of drop in the VIX, and that in turn should help us with the Nasdaq. And I'm going to use QQQ as the proxy for Nasdaq, and Nasdaq is already up 0.8%, and it's gone above the 100-day exponential moving average. So now all the 4 exponential moving averages are supporting the Nasdaq. And if you notice here, one of the good things that is happening is that you will see, I hope you can see this in the screen, I'm going to enlarge as much as possible. This yellow line is a 9-day exponential moving average, and this green line happens to be the 20-day exponential moving average. Sorry, 50-day exponential moving average. So our 9-day exponential moving average is going on top of the 20-day exponential moving average. This is another step in establishing a bull market, and we should now wait for the 9-day exponential moving average to go up and cross over the 100-day exponential moving average for it to be a healthy bull market. And then the 100-day exponential moving average needs to go to the very bottom. So those are the transitions we are looking for. Right now, if you look at the MACD, it's moving towards the signal line. Momentum is above average but flat. So those two things are not very conducive for Nasdaq. But I'm hoping that all the drop in the oil price that we are seeing here has got to translate into reducing the volatility, and also drop in oil prices is going to reflect in the inflation by tamping it down. So all those things together should work in the favor of reducing volatility, and therefore giving a bit of impetus to QQQ. But as I said before, I don't know why Nasdaq is still going up under these circumstances. I'm holding on until the 15th of April. You guys have to decide your own approach, but I don't think this upward movement of Nasdaq is going to be sustainable in the long run. So having said that, let's go and have a look at what's happening with our genomic shares. As you can see here on the right side of the panel, we have got all our genomic stocks out here. And at the top of the pile is Intelia. It's up 5.07%. And if we go to this long-term chart, we can see that the 9-day exponential average is providing a very strong support, and now the 20-day exponential moving average has also become a support, that is this orange line. And we also are well firmly into the bear channel that we were in before, and this bear channel has been going on all the way from the 25th of June 2021, and this green line has been a support for most of the part. We momentarily dropped below, and now we are back in again. So this is the first level of positive news for Intelia. However, we need to bounce off this support line and then form some sort of a bullish pattern in order to break through this diagonal red line, which has been a resistance since as early as 29th of June 2021. So there's a long way to go. The MACD is looking bullish right now, and the momentum is just about average and pointing upwards. So I'm happy about Intelia moving further up and ending up positive today. PSEB is up 4.11%. We still have resistance at 10.37, which is this horizontal line. We also have the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average being the resistance. MACD is bearish, and momentum is pointing upwards, but it's still below average. So I doubt if PSEB can maintain all the gains that we have seen here. It may drop down a little bit and maybe close the day slightly positive or flat. Teladoc is up 3.61%, and it's got support from the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. And the 9-day is in the right position with the 20-day below it. So that is still positive in my books. However, what is not very positive is the fact that the MACD, though bullish, is tending towards the signal line. That's not a good sign. However, I'm encouraged by the fact that the momentum is above average and pointing upward. So Teladoc may sustain the gains today, and we should see good things happening for Teladoc. DNA is up 2.05%. Again, 9-day and 20-day exponential moving average are supporting it. MACD is bullish. Momentum is below average but pointing up, so I will take that. So DNA might end up positive today. IMTX is up 5.21%. That's around 39 cents gain. It's supported by the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average. MACD is very bullish, and as you can see, we are moving away from the lower points of MACD. Now this red line, I'm going to convert it into a support for the MACD, and we have got a momentum which has gone above average, and it's steeply pointing upwards. So it's going to be a great day for IMTX today, and I'm looking forward to the 20-day exponential moving average crossing over the 9-day and going below that. So that's my next objective out there. So overall, it is looking good. And as one of our subscribers mentioned, the earnings was pretty good, and that has also resulted in this bullishness. Beam is up 2.84%, and we have got the 9-day exponential moving average, which is performing the role of a resistance at this point of time. MACD is bearish but tending towards the signal line. Momentum is below average but tending upwards to cross over the average. So all in all, I like the configuration the way it is. And if the MACD does cross over the signal line and momentum crosses over to average, I'm pretty sure that Beam can maintain the positives that it has earned today and maybe end the day at $2 or something gain. We still have to contend with the resistance of this diagonal red line of the bear channel in which we are right now, and also the 20-day exponential moving average. So having said that, let's look at Caribou Biosciences, which is up 2.82%, and it's being constrained by the 20-day exponential moving average. And if I expand this for you, you will see that our 9-day exponential moving average is still performing a support. We have broken above, and yesterday it had become a resistance, so we have broken that resistance. That's a positive. However, what is not positive is that our MACD is bullish but tending towards the signal line. That's not positive. The other positive news I have, apart from converting 9-day exponential moving average into support, is the fact that MACD, even though below average, is pointing upwards. So it's tending towards the average and above average. So that gives me hope that Caribou Biosciences may retain the positives today. Editas is up Editas is up 1.55%. And our support at 18.20 continues to hold. However, our 50-day exponential moving average is a constraint, and I'm hopeful that we are going to break that today because momentum is above average. However, the only negative thing I see here is that MACD, even though bullish, is tending towards the signal line. That's what I don't like. But given that we are above average with our momentum and the RSI is pointing upward, I would think that Editas will retain its gains today. ARCG is up 2.10, and whatever I said for Teladoc applies to ARCG, and therefore I'm thinking that ARCG is going to end up the day positive. It has got support from both the 9 and 20-day exponential moving average. We also have above average momentum, which is pointing upwards, so that's a very good sign. So I'm thinking that the MACD, which is showing a bit of tendency to move towards the signal line, it's a slightly bearish tone today, this morning, for ARCG in the daily charts. Therefore, I reserve my opinion on what ARCG is likely to do. There is a potential that ARCG may lose some steam today but end up positive. thanks to what's happening for Teladoc. So let's go to look at CRISPR, and CRISPR Therapeutics is now just struggling with this support line. Let me convert this into a support, and let me reduce the thickness of the line so that we can see where exactly we are with reference to the line. So we are above the support line. So yesterday we had just gone marginally below. So we are above the support line. Each of this candle is a one-day candle, and this is the candle for today. And I'm encouraged by the fact that our diagonal support line is still holding, and we still have resistance from the 9-day exponential moving average. However, the fact that 20-day exponential moving average is below the 9-day exponential moving average gives me hope that we still have an opportunity to continue moving upward. And this line out here, this green line, is our next resistance, which is at 66.36. Right now we are at 62.92. So I'm thinking that given that MACD is tending towards a signal line, but momentum is above average and pointing upwards, there's a good chance that CRISPR might recover for the rest of the day and continue its gains and maybe end up $1 positive. Let us take a quick look at the one-day chart. The one-day chart shows that the MACD is moving towards the signal line and momentum is pointed up and slightly above average. So I think CRISPR is going to be positive today. Let's go on to Verve and let's continue with our one-day candles. And in Verve also, I'm seeing that our bullish support line is still holding on, and this is some kind of a consolidation. The other way that I could look at it is that it's forming a pennant. Let me look at this pennant out here. So if you draw a line from here to here, this will look like a pennant. And pennants are really bad when they are formed at the bottom of a downward channel, because they indicate that you may go down further. So I don't want to put the pennant out there. I don't want to jinx this. I'm going to remove the pennant formation out here. And let us see how far our bull channel can go. We are still constrained by the 9-day exponential moving average. MACD has just turned bullish, and momentum is below average, but it's pointing slightly upward. That is encouraging. So I think Verve will hold its gains today. Bluebird is up 0.70, and we are being supported by the 9-day exponential moving average, and it has supported us in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So that's a good positive. However, our 9-day, 20-day exponential moving average is being a resistance for us. That's what I don't like. We need to break through that. Our MACD is bullish, but it's tending towards the signal line. Momentum is below average, but it's tending to pick up slightly. I can see. If we go to a one-day chart, we can see that momentum is below average and tending down. It has just moved up. And MACD is bearish, but tending towards the signal line. So overall, I think today there is a bit of a bullish bias for Bluebird. So Bluebird might probably end up the day positive, maybe 5 cents or 4 cents. So that's my prediction for Bluebird. Illumina is up Illumina is up 1.18%, and it has got support from the 9-day, 20-day, and 50-day exponential moving average. And it's in the first step of bullish phase. We seem to have had our first lower high somewhere out here at 334.01. Let us wait and see how this develops. MACD currently is bullish, but it's tending towards the signal line. However, momentum is above average and pointing upwards. So I'm thinking it's going to prevail, and we may end up the day positive $4.50 or something for Illumina. And then if we go on to Allogene, we are looking at a gain of 0.31%, and our resistance at 9.93 still survives and holds strong. But we have taken a bullish step in the sense that the 20-day exponential moving average, which is this orange line, is below the 9-day exponential moving average, which is the yellow line, and both of them are supporting today's price candle. Momentum is above average and slightly pointed upwards. That's a good sign. MACD is bullish but tending towards the signal line. Overall, I think that Allogene might end up the day flat or slightly positive. Vertex is up 1.20%, and it's beautifully within the bullish channel that we have here. And I think that we are going to do one better today, because if I was to take this particular line and extend it forward, I'm going to zoom out. So it was a support for the previous bullish channel. and now that is becoming a resistance for us. And what we need to do is to break through this resistance, which is going to be for us at 258.54 if we attempt to cross it today, and it will be at 259.43 if we attempt to cross it tomorrow. So either way, either we go into the superior bullish channel, or we stay in the less superior bullish channel, as I could, in the lack of a better term, use. So we are looking good for Vertex. So any investment in Vertex seems to be in a very good shape, and all the exponential moving averages are lined up properly. The only concern out here is that we are tending towards being overbought. So when we become overbought, what will happen is that we'll either move sideways or cool off a little bit and come back into the civilization zone of the RSI. But the MACD is pretty bullish and moving away from the signal line. So we're going to have a positive ride today for Vertex. Pfizer is up 0.58%, and we have got the support from the 9-day exponential moving average, followed by the 20, followed by the 50, followed by the 100. So it's looking perfectly nice for Pfizer. Pfizer will remain positive today, even though the MACD is tending towards the signal line. We have the momentum, which is pointing upwards, and it's above average. So I'm happy about Pfizer. Regeneron is up 0.94, and we are kind of consolidating sideways. Our 9-day exponential moving average is still giving us a support, and we have had handsome gains today. MACD is bullish, but tending towards the signal line. However, we still have our momentum, which is above average, and RSI still has got space before it can become overbought. So I'm predicting that we are going to end the day positive for Regeneron, maybe $6.50 to $7 range. So now let us take a look at Novartis, which is the last in the stocks out here. And Novartis is down minus 0.02%. As I said before, I'm not too much worried about Novartis. It's a solid company. It will pick up. And we already had a huge bull run, so there's likely to be some consolidation. And I prefer consolidation at this stage because the raise is very, very steep. And if we zoom out, we can see that we are in a kind of bullish pennant, because there was this upward moving trend before we started the bullish pennant. So the bullish pennant typically moves upwards, so it's going to break out upwards sooner rather than later. So I'm not worried about all these resistance lines that I'm seeing there. Novartis on the whole is a very, very strong, solid company, so we don't have to worry much about it. It will do well. Any weakness is a short-term opportunity to buy, in my opinion. So Novartis is fine. So that brings me to the end of this session. It's around 10 o'clock in the morning, 10:05 in Toronto, and we have finished the roundup. What I do realize is that I'm doing all these analysis much early, so that there is some benefit for you as a viewer to take from these sessions. And technical analysis as such is also a probabilistic art, I would say, and it's not always 100% perfect. So I was thinking that maybe I should start going live and start a live session, maybe somewhere around 9:15 in the morning, and talk in general about all the news articles that are making the day, and also anything that's going to impact the market in terms of economic events or geopolitical events. And then on Market Open, we go live with the live Nasdaq and live VIX. And we go through our genomic shares and also have a dialogue. You can put something on the chat. So I will be doing the live for the first time if we decide to do that. So you'll have to bear with me if there are some glitches. So I would like to ask you guys whether it's worthwhile for me to go live in the morning, and probably in the evening just drop a roundup video, very small one, just consolidating what was the action that happened during the day. So please let me know, and we'll see whether I can make it happen. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to put a like there, because then YouTube will show this video to more people and they can discover our channel. And also, if you have been here for a while, or if you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. It's absolutely free, and it helps us grow this channel and reach our milestone of 500 subscribers, so that we can have our community tab and enhance the interaction between us. Thanks, and have a great day. See you later. Bye for now.